your state. We dare you, Wike. Let's see what you can do. And Wike says, okay, is that what you're saying? I'm not aware of anything you are doing, so that's why they say you dare him. You get to hear that because the party is speaking fire this evening. Now there has been accusations and counter-accusations all the way from Abia State, where opposition parties there are claiming that the governor, Alex Otti, has mismanaged, allegedly, he has mismanaged over 60 billion naira. He claimed he renovated schools with over 60 billion naira, in fact 64 billion. But they said, where are the schools? They're not seeing the schools. Show us the school. That's what opposition parties in the state are saying. But Dr. Alex Otti, he's saying, Shuke, these ones don't know what they are saying. You are joking. And they play. They play. You want me to show you the school? Come to the state and come and see. Don't stay abroad and come and be talking. You get to hear from him. You also get to hear from the leader of the opposition, or let me say spokesperson for the opposition in the state. Now, on the issue of Goodluck Jonathan contesting the 2027 presidential election again, as they are mouthing it, Shehu Sani has come to say, I have an advice for you, Mr. Former President. This is my advice. So what is his advice? You will hear on the show this evening as well. As always, it's a bumper package, and we are set to go again as we always do. All you need to do is leave your dial locked right here, sit back, relax, and let's have a ride. Once again, the finest is here on Politics on Melody on 100.7 FM. Let's begin with happenings and political story making the round at this time. Now for latest political happenings all around within Nigeria, let's begin from here. Let's begin. Anyway, some people might not see it as a political story, but I can tell you it's part of political story. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the news from Oyo State that the Oyo State government, yes, under Seyi Makinde, our governor, has approved the date that our new Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja will be crowned the 44th king of Ibadan land. I'm talking about Olubadan of Ibadan land. Talking about the date for the coronation. It has finally been approved and agreed by Governor Seyi Makinde. So when is the day? We're going to be having another king. It is Friday, 26th of September, 2025. That's the day. We're going to be having a new king. We're going to be having an Olubadan of Ibadan land. Barashidi Adewolu Ladoja. It's a Friday, and it's going to be happening on that Friday here in Ibadan, when Opashe will be given to the governor, former governor that is. It's going to be given to the former governor of the state, Chief Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. So no more Chief Rashidi now. So henceforth it's going to be Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja. So watch out. We're going to be part of it full time. There's Melody FM. We'll be part of it full time. So watch out. You're going to be taking care of business. The 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land will be happening 26th September. It's a Friday, 2025. All right, moving away from there now. It's all about 2027, and the story continues. It's like 2027 is just like tomorrow to politicians in Nigeria. It's just like it is tomorrow. I'm telling you. Anyway, before that, let me tell you that the chairman of the Osun State Independent National Electoral Commission, Hashim Abioye, has reviewed that sensitive materials were distributed to local government areas some days before the controversial February 22 state and local government elections in the state. Abioye also added that before the OSEC head office was closed down, staff of the commission daily fed the deployed security personnel daily there. The chairman made his revelation while defending the February 22, 2025 local government election during a question and answer session at the 47th edition of the Frontliners of the League of Veteran Journalists, Osun State, a while ago in Oshogbo. Because you know that election has been highly controversial. Until date, they've not even seen the end of it. Now, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has rejected a proposed plan to increase the salaries of political office holders in Nigeria, insisting that ordinary citizens, not politicians, deserve pay rise. The story went viral yesterday when the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission (RMAFC) reportedly suggested a review of salaries for president, vice president, governors, and other top officials. But the ADC described the move as one deaf and an affront to struggling Nigerians. Many Nigerians have been reacting to that story as well. We'll see. We have enough time to talk about that subsequently. Former Plateau State People's Democratic Party governorship aspirant, Brigadier General John Sura, has resigned from the party. Sura, who was one of the aspirants to the governorship position in the 2023 primary election that produced incumbent governor, talking about the governor, Caleb Mutfwang, resigned today and made the resignation letter public. The statement he posted on his Facebook page addressed to his supporters. Let's talk a bit about NNPP now. As the New Nigerian People's Party has said it will decide whether to join a coalition or support President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid in 2027 general election at its August 28th National Executive Council meeting. That will be next Thursday. So we're going to be expecting what the NNPP will do, whether it will support President Tinubu or it will stand on his own or join the coalition as making up the ADC. According to the National Secretary, Publicity Secretary of the party, Ladipo Johnson, he said that the next meeting will iron out various important issues, including upcoming congresses and the National Convention, a review of recent by-elections, and of course plan for mass mobilization and new members registration. Anyway, these are the major headlines at this time. Let's leave it so that we can get into it properly. All right, let's get into it now, and let's get into all of the conversation. After Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, had stated that he wasn't aware that as a NEC member, he said, in fact, he beat his chest. He said, as a NEC member, I'm not aware that the PDP has agreed to have a convention in Ibadan in November. especially, specifically November 15 and 16 in Ibadan here in Oyo State. He said, I'm not aware. When did they make such decision that I'm not aware? They made such decision and I wasn't informed as a NEC member and a strong member of the party. No, it will not happen. It will not, no, it will not happen. They are joking, they are playing. They play is their name. And that's why Nyesom Wike said, it will not happen. Don't try it. It will not happen. They cannot even try it. They cannot have a convention when a whole Nyesom Wike, FCT minister, you know the way he talks, a strong member of the party, I'm not aware of it. They cannot make it happen. Now the party has reacted to what Nyesom Wike said. The party said, the play is the name of Nyesom Wike because they will go ahead. It will happen in Ibadan November 15 and 16, and there is absolutely nothing Nyesom Wike can do about it. On the alleged plan for him to have a parallel convention elsewhere aside the one they apply in Ibadan, the party said Wike is joking. According to Debo Ologunagba, who speaks for the party.
Briefing for me, of course, it will be interactive as always. But I can say to you, one word: the People's Democratic Party is ready for the National Convention scheduled by NEC for Ibadan, Oyo State Capital, for November 15th and 16th, November 2025. I thank you for listening. I think we can have the conversation. And what we do is that we follow the constitution of our party. How do you have a national convention? We have started. Interestingly, when this process is started, we have been in sync with our regulator, INEC. INEC has been attending all the meetings. They're witnesses to all the things we're doing, preparatory to that. So if people, and like you said, that might be a media hype, people testing the waters. And I don't know which paper carried it. I'm not sure it's one of the mainstream here. I don't know which paper, even though you didn't mention. But the mainstream papers know that this party is moving towards Ibadan. That we're already there as a matter of fact. The local organizing committee is working hard. The venue committee, they're working already ahead of time. Even before the inauguration of those subcommittees, they're already working. We don't do hop, step, and jump. We're ready. And we're methodical in the things we do. So when somebody decides to please can we just disregard and let's focus on what is important. There will be no other parallel. In fact, it does not exist. So I think we should just focus on what we're doing as a party. And we're doing that. So if it's in the realm of conjecture probably, and if it is probably the reporter, I mean, they are my friends, we won't want to impugn your character, but I think it will be in the realm of hallucination. This party, through its neck, the authority that has the power, has scheduled the national convention, which is elected for Ibadan, Oyo State Capital, on the 15th, 16th November 2025, and this train has moved on. It's gone past the bus stop. We're actually in Ibadan as I speak. And a couple of friends of mine have asked me, again, we were doing what we needed to do an assessment. And I thank you for that question. Number one, let's put them in perspective and see where we have democracy in action, where the voice of the people can be listened to, and let's do a comparative analysis. On the face of it, you said one. That sounds somehow. For those who want to hear those, they can go and feel good. But what is important, so let's look at this. Let's take Oyo State. It's all the election. And the election is what people can actually view and see and feel the impact and see people participating in the process. And there are no reports of people being locked up or all that. Then contrast that to what happened in Kaduna State. A night to that election, all members of the PDP, prominent members, were arrested. You reported it. I saw that. Flip over to Taraba State. Prominent members, including elected members of our party, were arrested. Again, so we do call that an election properly so called. And now we'll see, and we've heard about the arrogance of the APC. What they've done with those elections to test for 2027. But I have a bad news for APC. What happened in those by-elections that they call election as it were will not happen in 2027. Why? The reason is that the Nigerian people are wiser. They are hurting. What will be on the ballot in 2027 will be the hunger, will be the uncertainty, will be the insecurity that no money can purchase. Only last week, in my little village, the chairman of my party was, the local government was kidnapped. Now it is so sad that when people get kidnapped in this country, you don't even talk to police. They say, go and look for the money. Oh. That sounds like a new normal. That's what will be on the ballot. And so the APC should know that the self-immolation, the praise singing of saying, oh, we have won. They didn't win. Because Nigerian people will defeat them because they brought hunger to this country. For more than 10 years now, the APC has been a point of pain to Nigeria. They lied regularly. In the previous administration of the late President Buhari, what did they tell us? They told us they have intervention in agriculture, right? And they demonstrated by lying, by creating a wooden frame somewhere towards the airport, and they call it pyramid of rice. It turned out to be pyramid of lies. You remember? And we engaged you then. But contrast that to when PDP was in government. Dr. Adesina was a Greek minister. People were using their phone to assess farm inputs, like fertilizer. You remember that? I'm sure you remember because you reported it widely. So Nigerians are going to compare the PDP years with nostalgia. The golden years of prosperity, of democracy, of openness, of capacity to allow people to pursue their own happiness. So those are what will be on the ballot. So this cannot and is not and will never be, because what they did was that there were gloom in those areas they claimed to have won. You go and fast check it. And so that would be my reaction to that for now. That's why it's so easy so to say. But there's a limit to which you can weaponize poverty and people say enough is enough. I guarantee you that many of such, in 2027, it will be a different ball game. I guarantee you that. Why? Because it will be unveiling, it will be unraveling the kind of poverty and the kind of life discounting expenses that Nigerians are facing. So they would have to change. That's my hope. That's my expectation. And that's what the PDP is preparing to galvanize, so that we can have issue base. Know that we are always constantly being distracted by creating crisis in other parties. So that rather than talk about the government's failure and the challenges we have and the insensitivity of the government, we're busy talking about somebody is fighting a party or not. We want to get ourselves together. We are already getting ourselves together. That's why you see the APC is jittery. That's why you find the kind of the news item that Chooks referenced. They want to take us back and say, oh, they have issues there. No. They know already this is a train that is moving. And it's moving steadily towards Ibadan for the National Convention, to have a brand new National Working Committee, creating education. Because when you get people that are educated, then they can make a discerning decision. It becomes difficult for you to say, take 5,000 naira, vote for me, and vote 4 years of your life away.
You heard it right there. The PDP talking there, for the man who speaks for the party, telling us everything concerning, or first, let me say, debunking the motion, the notion making around, the story making around, that they want to have a parallel, there will be a parallel convention for the party. The one that they said Wike's camp, let's put it that way, will organize. He said nothing like that, so it's a purely Democratic Party thing, and the train is already in Ibadan. According to him, it's going to be happening in Ibadan live and direct. keep our eyes on it because you know we'll be there live for the convention in Ibadan. Okay, before I have a breather, let's quickly talk about Buba Galadima now. What he said about INEC conducting an illegal election. Everything that happened on Saturday is an illegality. And that's according to the chieftain of the NNPP, Buba Galadima, saying, look, INEC conducted an illegality. Whoever is even saying you want to get a certificate of return or you want to be sworn in, whatever it is, you're just deceiving yourself. You're sitting on a wrong. If anybody can be strong enough to challenge what INEC did on Saturday, everything will be null and void. That's exactly what Buba Galadima is saying concerning the election conducted by INEC on Saturday.
The by-elections had come and gone, except it's been trailed by so many issues, depending from which side of the coin you look at it. In the first place, I want to make a very, very important issue out of these by-elections. In fact, all of them were conducted illegally by INEC, because when a vacancy occurs, INEC is under obligation to conduct the by-election within 3 months. Some of the by-elections are being held 2 years after. For example, the ones in Kano, or at least the one in Kano, because it was an election that was declared inconclusive by the APC in 2003. 3, 4, 5. So, if the judiciary is upcoming, and if anybody goes to court to challenge those elections, they could be declared null and void, because that is what the Constitution says, not even the Electoral Act. Before, when INEC was INEC, when politicians start to hit the polity, they come out and warn them that they have not allowed politicking. Could it be worse what is happening, the politicking that is going on now, just 2 years into the life of this administration? Look at the politicking that is going on. When INEC doesn't even have the muzzle and the guts to call politicians into order, because people in government are the ones that started. So how do you expect a free and fair election under these people? If they can't stop politicians from gate crashing or jumping the gun, how do you think they will have the liver to conduct a free and fair election? If they just can't say, look, Mr. Man, stop. It is not yet time for politicking. It's time for governance. That is why some of us are keeping quiet. We are waiting for the D time, and when we start, the world will know that we are here.
Yeah, Buba Galadima talking there. That is what he said concerning what INEC conducted on Saturday across Nigeria, illegal elections. Because the time frame had already elapsed for a rerun or a by-election to be conducted. And again, he said INEC, the present INEC leadership doesn't have the balls to stand against politicians. He's saying the politicians are more or less bigger and stronger than INEC right now. In fact, he said INEC cannot conduct any credible election. So what happens in 2027 is a big question we should be asking. It is Politics on Melody, 100.7 FM in the city of IB. Let's me quickly have a breather. When I return, I'll take you through the brouhaha brewing up in Abia State between the governor and some opposition parties there. And again, what Yeso Wike said concerning Rotimi Amaechi. I also will let you know what Shehu Sani said concerning Jonathan's plan to come back and rerun in 2027. Politics on Melody. My name is Pretty. Let's have his breather. We'll be back.
Are you ready?
That's a prayer. Many Nigerians are praying, let righteousness come. When righteousness cover the earth, maybe our politicians, maybe the political class will treat us well. Maybe they will know the right things to do, because right now it's like they do not know the right thing to do. They just do what pleases them. To let righteousness cover the earth so that we can have a better Nigeria. At the time many Nigerians are suffering, the politicians are thinking of increasing their own pay and salaries. They said 1.5 million naira is too small for the president every month. The president already is a billionaire. So what does he need 1.5 million naira raise for? That's what some people are asking when the politician RMAFC saying the money is too much. It's too small for the leaders, political office holders in Nigeria. So we need to raise the money. How can a governor be receiving such a meager amount of money? Nigerians are still talking at the time when some people don't even know what they will eat now. The politicians keep living large. Is it just about the salaries? What about the allowances? That is where the money is, not even about the salaries. God have mercy. Let's leave that one. We'll have enough time to talk about that, especially on the People's Assembly on Melody Sunrise. Let's go to something else right now. Of course, you're still listening to Politics on Melody 100.7 FM with the finest. Now, Rotimi Amechi has boasted that, look, if I get the ticket of the ADC, I'm going to defeat Tinubu straight up. I'm going to defeat Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He can't match me. I've seen his weaknesses. I've studied him. I brought that one to you last week, right? I also brought the voice of someone who believes Rotimi Amechi is blabbing. Rotimi Amechi can never get the ticket. But he however said, if Rotimi gets the ticket, he'll be able to defeat Tinubu. That was what Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, heard and said, who is Wike? I mean, who is Amechi? Who answers that name, Amechi, in politics? Amechi, where Tinubu is. Didn't Tinubu defeat him in the primaries of the APC before the election in 2023? Amechi is just blabbing. Amechi is just joking. It's not possible. Amechi can never defeat Tinubu. And even at that, what am I saying? To defeat Tinubu how? He can't even get the ticket of the ADC. That's what Nyesom Wike said. It would be impossible for Amechi to get the ticket of the APC. APC in 2027.
He knew the weakness. He has studied it and okay, now he has studied it. But let me tell Nigerians know, the last person they will give ticket, because you know that is our dead on arrival. No, called dead on arrival. It's dead on arrival.
He said Amechi's attempt to get the ADC ticket is dead on arrival. He can't get anything. He's just blabbing, he's just joking, and he's just playing. Quickly, wow, the way time runs when you're having fun here. Let's go to Abia State now. But before we go to Abia State, still talking about 2027 presidential election, the story making the rounds everywhere is that Bola Ahmed Tinubu might have to contend with one of the people he has supported in the past to be president of Nigeria, even when he was not in the party. Talking about Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Because he's one of the people, PDP, they are thinking to come and bring out the contest against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Shehu Sani, a senator of the Federal Republic, some time before now, said the greatest mistake that Goodluck Ebele Jonathan will be making is to come back saying he wants to contest in 2027, because the political waters now are kind of different from when he was president at that time. And what is happening, especially in the PDP now, will never and does not favor the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Shehu Sani said this.
Well, first of all, I don't speak for the government, but all I know is that economic reforms program anywhere in the world is not easy. And for any nation that has a vision of the future, sacrifices need to be made. That became the foundation for greatness of nations like South Korea, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. We have to make sacrifices for the future. And we're in a democracy. It is within the rights and the ambit of our democratic experiment or law or rule to have an opposition that will give an alternative. But if their only a cause for power is to remove Tinubu without providing any alternative to governance of his own style, then they have no agenda. And let me be very frank on this. The people that constitute the coalition today are not ideologically and philosophically different from the programs which the Tinubu administration is prosecuting. So it's not like you have a Marxist and a capitalist or a new liberal and a conservative. They all, during their campaign and in their lives, you can see those liberal values of devaluation, removal of subsidy and so many things. So it's like the team A of ruling power and team B. Now, in the case of Jonathan, each time there's an election, you see the name of Jonathan coming up, but it is his own volition to try to contest. But I advise him not to do that. The reason for that is very simple. The PDP he used to know is not the same PDP now. The PDP in the Southwest are endorsing the president and some of his members of their party. They are in the coalition. So he is not going to be in the party that he used to know. So he shouldn't waste his time.
That's what he said. He shouldn't waste his time. The PDP he used to know is not the PDP that we have now. The PDP of now is full of confusion. Although Debo Ologba told us that, look, they are re-strategizing, rejigging, and reforming the party for a better performance in 2027. We wait and see how that pans out. Let's quickly go to Abia State now and talk about what is happening there. In Abia State, the issue has been that the state, some of the opposition parties there, the leaders of the opposition party in Abia State are claiming that Governor Alex Otti has mismanaged, has swallowed, has embezzled 64 billion naira. The money is nowhere to be found because the governor claimed he used the money to build schools. They came together and pushed one man to go and speak for them, and the man that spoke for them happened to be former Commissioner of Information in the state. Is a chicken now. You're the one who always asked me, hey, Pretty, you don't want to be my friend, have you? I remember when I was in the East, you always say, you don't want to be my friend. You always criticize us. And I said, no, I'm just doing my job. Here's a chicken Nayo is now on the other side of politics now, the other side of government. And he spoke and said, the governor is not speaking the truth. The governor is not saying the right thing. The governor's aide has told them that the money has been released already. He has told Abians that the money has been released. So the governor is saying, no, it's just budget. All of these things the governor is saying, the governor is lying. That's what Eze Chicken Nayo said. This is Eze Chicken Nayo who speaks for the coalition of opposition parties in Abia State.
The governor is being deliberately dishonest. He published, we are not making allegations. He has made a submission of expenditure for 2024, and under the section public schools, he has submitted, your governor, have done 51 schools with 54 billion. All we are demanding is simple. Show us the schools. A simple question, where are these schools? What's the location of these schools? Pictures don't lie. Evidence is the end of argument. These schools, unknown schools, audio schools, show us. We expected the governor, as he's coming to this program or as he's making his explanation, to just provide a simple list of schools across 17 local governments. That will suffice. Let's see the schools. Are they existing where? They are not anywhere on the ground in Abia State. We have gone around. If we are saying we have done 51 schools, they are not done on the ground. They are done on the surface of the earth. Where are these unknown schools? 51 billion, 51 schools for 54 billion. 51 schools, 54 billion. 17 local governments. At least every local government should have 2 to 3 schools, standard schools. He says smart schools. We can't see anyone. We are talking about if he's making any claim. Pictures don't lie. As he's making the press conference, instead of all of the gymnastics of semantics, let him just bring a list of the schools. Umume Chimoko government, so and so place. Isi Alangwa, so and so place. Abasus, in the spirit of transparency and accountability. He keeps talking about schools, 51 schools. 54 billion has been taken away from the money of the people of Abia State. Show us the schools and it will surface. Give us a list. Let's know the contractors. At how much? We want transparency and accountability. Look, what we have in Abia State is Governor Alex Otti is very high on propaganda and very low on performance. And he's putting a small screen. And this is actually a question that will not go away. We want to see these schools. Nigerians want to see these schools. Abians everywhere in the world want to see these 51 schools that have been done with 54 billion. The afterthoughts of his coming back to say it is 12.something billion or what? How can he say that? He has submitted to the Federal Ministry of Finance, the CEFTA's website. It is a standard by the World Bank. He has made a submission. This is how much I got in 2024, but this is how much I have spent on public schools. It's incontrovertible. Are we asking for negotiation? Nobody is interested in negotiation. List, just a list. Number 1, 2, 3, 51 schools as he has claimed. These schools, don't they have names? Don't they have location? Don't they have contractors? Don't they exist? Are there no pictures? It's not too sure it was. He who asserts must be able to prove. He has made an assertion, a submission, under oath, in a document that is in public domain. It's not about allegation. It's not about claims. It is about in a document where he said, I have expended 54 billion of Abia State taxpayers' money for 51 schools. These schools, these audio schools, we want to see them.
That's why he's saying we want to see them. Where are the schools? If the governor is claiming that he has built 51 schools, so where are the schools? You built with 64 billion naira. We can't see the money from Abia State, yet you claim you have built the school. But the governor has responded to Ezechikam Nayo. He said, look, you know why he's making all of those noise? He wanted to be in my government, but I refused. I cannot have him in my government. He has been in every government in Abia State since 1999. This young man cannot be in my government. Let him go and sit down. Whatever he says, even if he hawks transformer, I will never make him a part of my government. This is Alex Otti, the governor of Abia State.
So-called Abia whatever in Abuja that organized a press conference led by someone called Ezechikam Nayo. I'm sure a lot of people here know him. Unfortunately, when you have people who don't have so much information, they are not properly informed, but they are wired to be used for mischievous activities. And sometimes they make mistakes. So I heard about it even though I didn't watch it, but then even a day or two before the press conference, everything he was going to say was sent to me by WhatsApp. And then I was also told who sponsored it. I said it's okay, it is democracy. The unfortunate thing is that the person that sponsored it chose to use a man with no integrity, absolutely zero integrity, and then even the issue of 54 billion, the original person that talked about it found out shortly after he had talked about it that he made a mistake, and he decided to walk back his mistakes. I'm sure those who are following details will know. There's something called state SIFTAS, World Bank State Transparency, and it's called SIFTAS, SFTAS. It requires, it's a program by World Bank which requires that states What this government does is that before we hand over money to you, we must collect an advance payment guarantee. So that in the unlikely event you decide to face your village after collecting money, we call the bank guarantee. Are fellows of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. The SSG is also a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Accountant General, Commissioner for Finance, even Commissioner for Environment, Commissioner for Lands and Housing. So he said I should do a video. I checked the records and I found that about 5 or 6 schools are being done in Umunuchi as we speak. He should come home and see them if he's not afraid of coming home. I shouldn't do a video. Why should I do a video and prove to him that I'm working in his local government? No, he should come. Oh, he should not stay in Abuja. And if he comes, please, somebody should also tell him not to forget to also visit the university where he claimed he read law. I'm also working there. Okay? And to the people that sent him, first of all, they sent the wrong person. A man without credibility. You don't need to send him to go and talk about it. You need to, and in any case, they may not have found a man with credibility to come and talk rubbish. Because if you send a man who understands numbers, he will tell you, no, this one is budget. Let's look at what has been spent. I was looking at the numbers, and by June this year, we have spent about 14.43 billion on 61 schools just within this year. These renovations that we are doing. So there's an interesting thing. You know, I tell people are not as foolish as they think. You know, sometimes they think because people keep quiet, they think they can get away with anything. Oh, you blackmail him, they will call you for discussion. I will never call you for negotiation. Blackmail him, they will call you for discussion. I will never call you for negotiation. Never. So maybe you need to set up another structure. And in any case, the last time I checked, he was in PDP. When did he join APC? So please, give the message to him that this one didn't work and will not work. And the people hiring them, you know, I sympathize with them because they lost their money. All the money they paid them, the haul, all the t-shirt, all the face cap, all those are lost. So our people are very bright people. They kept quiet doesn't mean they don't know what to do. So we are talking of cash and we are talking of budget. They are not the same thing. Okay, and I can tell you under my watch, no such thing will happen.
No such thing will happen under his watch. Governor Alex Chioma Oti of Abia State talking there this evening. But the question now is, some people are asking, why is it difficult for the governor to even maybe just do pictures, just do videos, show images of the schools you say you have spent 64 billion naira on, while others are saying Chikam Nayo is always looking for attention. But he's doing it with the wrong guy now, because Chioma Oti is a different person entirely. We'll continue to trail this story. We'll continue to talk about it because I've gotten the assurance from the man who speaks for the governor in Abia State. His name is Ferdinand Ekoma. Ferdinand Ekoma has said, "Finance, don't worry. We'll talk about this issue live on your show." Because this is Chikam Nayo is also saying, "Finance, don't worry now. We'll spill everything." So I'm looking